Writing to Learn, University of New England, Connecting Reading and Writing for Success. Content of the presentation, definitions of writing to learn, best practices, and writing to learn strategies. This presentation is developed to incorporate writing to learn strategies and activities during instruction and provides students with research-based evidence to develop better writing skills while learning, providing teachers with several strategies that I can use in lessons. Also use these strategies with lessons that I can make connections with the text and resources that I already use in my instruction. What is writing to learn? According to the article, Writing to Learn, Benefit and Limitations, writing to learn is the act of making a subject or topic clear to oneself by reasoning through it in writing. It is a pedagogical approach that uses writing to facilitate learning. Writing to learn is a strategy based on the principle that students need to write about what they are learning to acquire a better understanding of the content area or subject. Writing to learn activities are short, informal writing tasks that help students think through key concepts or ideas central to a course. Students gain a clear understanding of a concept if they can write about the idea as often as possible in short paragraphs without focusing on grammar or punctuation. Students require opportunities for both writing to learn and learning to write. Students need to learn the craft of writing, punctuation, letter formation, writing process, etc. And they also need opportunities to write about what they have learned. Response to reading, science experiments, journaling, short notes. Even in kindergarten, students can and should be doing both. Writing to learn helps students understand a subject or content area lesson, expand the student's grasp of those ideas. Students use their own words to write about what they have learned, and they gain a better understanding of writing skills. Students' ability to write about what they have learned is increased when teachers model and provide examples of how to write about what they have learned or a subject or a content area. The modeling is the key. Students need to see how they can write about a subject in a different way than writing with grammar and punctuation, etc. Some writing to learn activities that I will use in my classroom are journals. Students will write down what they have learned and any questions they may still need to have answered. Admission and exit slips. Students give the teacher short questions on pieces of paper at the start or at the end of a lesson. First thoughts. Students write their very first thoughts about a topic. Free writes. With a topic of a lesson or unit in mind, students write quickly about the topic for 5 to 10 minutes without stopping, and teacher can provide them with prompts to get them started. Sentence starters, sentence stems. This was taken from Thoughtful Learning website. Another writing to learn activity that I really like is to have students stop, called Stop and Writes, where students pause during their reading or listening to write a reflection about the text or lesson. Use questions like these to prompt students' responses. What is the most important thing I learned from the reading lesson? What parts didn't I understand? What parts do I want to know more about? How does the writing topic make me feel? And what else do I know that is like this? Again, these Stop and Write writing to learn activities were from Thoughtful Learning website. Another strategy is the self-regulated strategy development. It's evidence-based strategy for writing. Students use this where they can build stamina for writing, and the goal is that the teacher will no longer have to provide them with writing prompts. They will use these strategies to build and provide students with tools and knowledge needed for writing and self-regulation. Talk about writing. Discussion is essential to learning about writing. Students show how to become better writers. Encouragement and the ability to write as often as possible without teacher intervention, and provide students with writing prompts and sentence starters until they are no longer needed. According to the article, Teaching Writing to Elementary Students in Grades 4 through 6, a national survey, the Elementary School Journal indicated that the majority of teachers do not rely on commercial writing curricula, but instead devise their writing programs. Elementary grade students spend only about 20 to 25 minutes per day writing, and that for improving writing instruction is to engage students in meaningful, useful, and extended writing activities. During instruction, I will incorporate those writing to learn activities mentioned in the previous slides during writing instructions and writing to learn activities to as often as possible to ensure students understand the process and can use several of the strategies. And I will also model writing for students as often as possible during the instructional day. As noted in the article, Understanding the Cognitive Processes Involved in Writing to Learn, the physical act of writing something is not necessarily beneficial to learning. The argument is that one has to transform rather than simply repeat the information. That means that the student has to understand what they're writing. It can't just be copying notes from off the board. They have to take what they've just learned and be able to put it into words. Writing to Learn nurtures analytical thinking, necessitating examination and processing, and additional advanced thoughtful aptitudes. This strategy utilizes unplanned brief writing assignments developed for students with teachers and assigned during the class to aid students to reflect on essential vocabulary and theories. Teachers want students to pay more attention to the content area instead of how they are writing. Students must see the teacher model the strategies before attempting to use the approach on their own to make the strategy more meaningful for students. The teacher will have the students' work published and available for others to read in the student library, in the classroom library. In conclusion, according to the East Carolina University website, writing is both an art and a skill that requires ongoing practice. No one ever finishes learning to write. Writing is a method of learning, not merely a method to report on learning. As we compose and revise, we make connections, we synthesize ideas, and we extrapolate from them. Writing and revising is a practice of continually thinking on paper. Writing to Learn strategies provide teachers with several gains in student writing skills and aiding students to take in new information, enhancing writing abilities. We are giving teacher the information We are giving teachers information of what the students have learned or have not learned about a subject or content area. According to the Michigan Department of Education article, Writing Across the Curriculum, the Writing to Learn strategy is one that teachers employ throughout and or at the end of a lesson to engage students and to develop big ideas and concepts. Reference page.